Good Sunday evening, South Carolina Weather Watchers. I am the host for South Carolina Weather, Jesse Peterson, and let's go on ahead and start off with the weather for your Sunday evening. Now, this will also be your spring break forecast as well. So, looking at the radar right now, as you can see, most of the precipitation is gone. No precipitation is left in sight from yesterday, obviously. Pretty much was a nice day today, and pretty much the same thing tomorrow, maybe just a tiny bit warmer. But as of now, looking like we're going to be pretty good today and tomorrow. Looking at the cloud cover, though, for right now, if we go on ahead and look at our cloud tracker, you can obviously see that there are some isolated clouds, maybe even some scattered clouds up there in northern South Carolina going towards the northwestern portion of South Carolina to the Blue Ridge Mountains, Anderson, Augusta, and places like that. Looking at our current temperature tracker, you can see that we do have temperatures around 55 in Columbia, 57 in Charleston, 53 in Myrtle Beach, 53 in Rock Hill, 53 in Greenville, 55 in Anderson, 57 in Augusta, and 61 in Savannah. So those are our current temperatures right now. If you want to go in more and kind of see your exact area, you can I think you can zoom in if you're on mobile, if you're on like your phone. I'm pretty sure if you turn it landscape, you can zoom in if you can't really see it too well. If you're on like a TV or on like a computer, I don't know about that. But here's our minimum temperatures for tonight. Tonight we will get some pretty cold temperatures. Temperatures that can go all the way from 37 up there inside of the Greenville Spartanburg, 36 for Anderson, 37 for Columbia, 35 for Sumter and Florence, 41 for Myrtle Beach, 46 in Charleston, 45 in Savannah. So definitely some isolated patchy frost could be potentially present throughout mainly inland portions of South Carolina. So do not be surprised if you see some frost in some areas as well. But nothing below freezing is really expected. For the next 24 hours, prefer wind gust. Wind gust is going to be around 21 up there inside the Greenville Spartanburg, 19 in Anderson, 17 in Columbia, 18 for Sumter, 21 in Florence and Myrtle Beach, 24 in Charleston, 18 I think that is in Savannah, 16 in Augusta. No precipitation is expected for the next 24 hours. And let's go ahead and move straight on to the models, shall we? So if we go ahead and switch it up, and we're going ahead and go to the HRRR model. I did also forget to talk about the entire United States, but we're already talking about the spring break forecast, so I'll do that. I'll do that tomorrow morning. But go on ahead and looking at the HRRR model, as you can see, I mean, you can obviously just push it forward. Let's go all the way to back to the 18Z, because that goes around 48 hours out. I mean, you can push it forward. I mean, we're not seeing any type of precipitation. Here we go through Tuesday. No, this is Monday night, and then Tuesday, and then there goes this big system coming down into Georgia, and then our rain chances finally start to increase for when we get to Tuesday morning for parts of the upstate of South Carolina, and then that will slowly move eastward and go towards the Midlands of South Carolina. So definitely watching for some isolated downpours and some showers for the upstate and for the northern Midlands on Tuesday. Maybe once we get to Tuesday evening, Tuesday night, they can reach the Midlands, and then probably early morning Wednesday, some more showers and downpours, but for the low country, for the PD and the coastal regions of South Carolina as well. So, and also, these could also produce some thunderstorms as well. You can't really see it too much, but these oranges here, and these yellows, they could also produce some thunderstorms as well. So that is for that. Now let's go ahead and move on and talk about day 3, and this is exactly what I was talking about right here. Day 3 outlook. The SPC has put us under a general risk of thunderstorms for Tuesday going into Wednesday. So definitely watch out for a couple of thunderstorms, pretty much from Columbia all the way west. going up into the upstate, maybe even portions of a little bit of the, kind of like a little bit of the low country, most of the Georgia, South Carolina coastal line or line, state line. Savannah, like places near Savannah is not included, but Columbia, Rock Hill, Sumter, maybe, no, Sumter's just out of it. Allendale, pretty much everybody inside that light green region is under that. Now, obviously, I would check for the day 4, but there is no day 4 because day 4 they don't talk about general risk of thunderstorms. They just talk about the chances of there being severe weather. So we can only talk about the day 3, but tomorrow morning we will talk about it for sure. Here is our excessive rainfall outlook as well for day 3. As you can see, we do have a little chance of some excessive rainfall. Let's go ahead and move this more inward. If we go ahead and move down to the southeast, you can see that mainly portions of the upstate will be included inside of a marginal risk of excessive rainfall. So definitely watch out for some isolated flash flooding up there going into your Tuesday, maybe even your late Wednesday as well. And then also day 4 as well. You can see that most of South Carolina is under a marginal risk of excessive rainfall. Pretty much, if you weren't under the marginal risk of excessive rainfall this day, as you can see for Tuesday, you're going to be under it on Wednesday. So that is that. And let's go ahead and talk about the future. So we're going to go ahead and switch back to our models on Radar Omega. And we're going to go ahead and switch over to the GFS. And you can obviously see we have already just a bunch of stuff going on. We can go ahead and check out the MRMS now. I mean, you can see just a lot of stuff going on right now, even when it comes to rain, snow, ice. You can see severe storms down there in Texas, Oklahoma. We did have a tornado touchdown in Oklahoma, I'm pretty sure. Rain and snow scattered in the west. A huge amount of snow up there for Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, Wisconsin, the UP of Michigan, and even some rain going from Iowa all the way down into Mississippi and parts of Alabama. But look at the East Coast. I mean, just nice. I mean, it was a great day for you if you were on the East Coast, for sure. But we're here talking about the models, not the current conditions right now. Going ahead and go back to the GFS, and as you can see, let's go ahead and switch over to the precipitation type. And here we go. So, looking at the GFS, if we go ahead and push it forward, which is loading. Alright, so if you go ahead and move it forward, I'm going to pull up my pen. You can obviously see the rain and the severe weather and the snow on the backside. If you're going to push that forward, and you can see that snow kind of gets a bit, kind of goes northernward kind of a bit. And the snow, there's some snow left on the backside, but that's really going to push all the way up into Canada, or at least for this system. And then we have this huge line of downpours and maybe even storms as well that's going to push into South Carolina, kind of de-intensify, but kind of re-intensify as it gets closer to the coast. And definitely some heavy rainfall for mainly this whole entire region right here. And then you might even look over to the west and see, what in the world is this? This is a huge low pressure bringing bands of rain and snow to the west. And that will start our next storm system as that energy traverses to the east. And actually, it brings maybe just a little bit of rain, but not much. Really, the main storm is really right here. And it's still bringing that heavy rain to California as well. But once that storm right there passes, look at us. I mean, we're nice and just being enjoyful in the sun, not really watching too much of anything. And then finally, another system comes through. So we're going to go ahead and turn off the pen so you can see the actual time that this actually happens. So here we go. There goes that storm system. That storm system will be out of our hair, kind of a bit slow moving. Be out of our hair finally on the 28th. And once it goes past, I mean, we got a huge just leap of no rain. I mean, all the way from 3/29 all the way through April the 1st, and then finally April the 2nd brings us some more rain, as well. And then we might get a lot of rain on the 4th as well. April 4th, we could see a bunch of rain. And then pretty much that's all we're seeing for right now. Snow for Chicago and for the Denver regions as well. And that's all we're watching for. So as of now, it's not looking too bad. Just mainly just some isolated heavy rainfall, some isolated flash flooding. It could potentially be a concern. But as of right now, I'm not seeing anything too bad. Let's go on ahead and talk about our spring break. All right. So going on ahead and looking at the GFS. If we go on ahead and look through and go through the temperature anomalies, as you can see, as we get into pretty much the beginning of our spring break, we're going to be cooler than average. I mean, you'll definitely be able to feel it. Let me go ahead and switch over to the southeast. You'll be able to feel it for sure. But then once we get to like the 27th time frame, the 27th is Wednesday. So once we get into the Wednesday time frame, those temperatures might try to increase during the day, but then when it hits nighttime, it's going to be back to being cool, and maybe even during the day as well on the 30th for Saturday, it can start to get back to being cold again. So definitely very cooler than average temperatures for your spring break. So definitely still bring that jacket with you wherever you're going. Obviously, just because it's cooler than average doesn't mean that it's going to be like frigid cold, but definitely some 60s, some highs in the 60s for some regions, some lows maybe in the low 50s, high 40s, maybe even the low 30s, or sorry, the high 30s, like tonight. So once we push this forward, obviously you can see that. We went ahead and check out just temperatures in general. I mean, you can see tonight they dip down really low, and then those temperatures really only rise to around 60 degrees as we get into all the way through to like the 28th. Maybe some isolated spots, 64, 65, 66 on the 28th. And then those temperatures start to rise more on the 29th, 66. And then there we go, 71 finally on the 30th, bringing finally some warm temperatures. And then we get even hotter on the 31st. The 31st is Sunday, next week Sunday, so 7 days out from now. Temperatures finally start to get to its regular temperature mark. And then here we go, April the 1st. This is the last day of spring break. We get temperatures up all the way inside the 80s towards the low country and the PD. And the temperatures maybe inside the low 80s, but definitely the high 70s for sure for the upstate and the Midlands of South Carolina. So that's going to be about it for temperatures. Talking about precipitation wise, obviously we know what's happening. This storm system right here potentially bringing some heavy rain, and then that's pretty much all we're looking at for spring break. Maybe some isolated showers up there inside northern South Carolina on April the 1st, and then April the 2nd, where spring break is over. So very quiet spring break. The only system that we have to worry about is this one system right here, on starting it around March the 26th, and then finally leaves us on March the 28th. So we're just gonna have to watch and see what happens with this system. Wait till we get closer, but that's gonna about wrap this up. So thank y'all so much for watching this forecast update, and I will see y'all tomorrow morning, maybe a bit late because, I'm on my spring break. I'm trying to get as much sleep as I can and try to enjoy it now before I go back. But thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see y'all tomorrow morning with another forecast update.